Good evening, Ms. Shaw, and good evening to the rest of the class. We are Group 8, and we will be doing Unit 9, Consumer Protection. Consumer protection is the practice of safeguarding buyers of goods and services and the public against unfair practices in the marketplace. Consumer protection measures are often established by laws which are intended to prevent businesses from engaging in fraud or specified unfair practices in order to gain an advantage over competitors or to mislead consumers. For example, government regulations may require businesses to disclose detailed information about their products, especially ones used for public health or safety, such as with food or automobiles. Today, our presenters will be Annalisa Wolf Forbes speaking about double ticketing and misleading advertising, Gail Thorpe about tide selling and bid rigging, Nashima Wilson on price fixing and 2 statutes for consumer protection, and Shelley Wilson on 2 consumer protection agencies. We hope this presentation will be informative for you, and thank you for being here with us today.
Double ticketing is a sales strategy in which a merchant puts 2 different price tags on a product and charges the consumer the higher of the 2. Under the Consumer Protection from Unfair Trading Regulations 2008, it is an illegal act to charge the higher price when a lower price is clearly shown. Double ticketing is also a type of misleading advertisement. Advertising is the attempt to influence the buying behavior of customers with a convincing selling message about products and services. Under the Consumer Protection Act 2007, advertising is seen as misleading if it involves misleading, deceptive, or false information that is likely to cause the average consumer to act in a way they might otherwise not. It may also be considered misleading if relevant information that the average consumer needs to make an informed decision is left out. Misleading advertising covers claims made directly to consumers by the manufacturers, retailers, distributors, as well as in catalogs, advertisements, or websites. One example of misleading advertisement is advertising that a product will give you wings to fly after you consume it.
Uh-oh, this does not look good. Here, quick, have a Red Bull and pass it on.
No Red Bull, no wings.
A few of the most common types of false advertising include the following: manipulation of terms. This may include things such as describing food as organic or light without justifying. Bait and switch. This could include advertising products to entice consumers and then trying to sell them a much more expensive item.
Tide selling is the illegal practice of a company providing a product or service on the condition that a customer purchases some other product or service. It is frequently used in reference to banks, and it is sometimes referred to as cohesive tide selling. In simple, tide selling refers to situations where the sale of one good is conditioned on the purchase of another good. A retailing practice in Jamaica that is relatable is marina ports. Case Eastman Coda Company versus Image Technical Services. Tide selling example, commercial banks issuing credit cards only if you have an account with them. Bid rigging. Bid rigging, also referred to as collusive tendering, occurs when two or more competitors agree that they will not compete genuinely with each other or for tenders, allowing one of the cartel members to win the tender. Participants in bid rigging cartel may take turns to be the winner by agreeing about the way they submit tenders, including some competitors agreed not to tender. Bid rigging can take a variety of forms. They include cover bidding, bidding suppression, bidding rotation, bid withdrawal, non-conforming bids. Non-conforming bids is where businesses deliberately include terms and conditions that they know will not be acceptable to the client. Bidding withdrawal, where a business withdraws its winning bid so that an agreed competitor will be successful instead. Bid rotation, where the competitors agree to take turns at a winning business while monitoring their market shares to ensure they have all predetermined slice of the bid rigging leads to uncompetitive tender processes that can result in organizations paying higher prices or receiving low quality goods and services. Businesses that are victim of bid rigging can pass on extra costs or reduce quality to consumers and other businesses in the supply chain. Case US versus Butcher.
Price fixing. Price fixing is the practice of setting the price of a product rather than allowing it to be determined by free market forces. It is illegal if it involves collaboration among producers or suppliers to set a product or service price. The Federal Trade Commission antitrust laws requires that each company establish their prices independently without agreeing with a competitor. When consumers choose what products and services to buy, they expect that the price has been determined freely based on supply and demand and not by colluding with competitors to cause price restriction. When they do this, the price is normally higher. In a free market, the price of a product or service is determined by the law of supply and demand. And if the price is too high, plenty of people will be eager to produce, but few people will be willing to pay for it. And if the price is low, few will find it worthwhile to produce it, and many will be eager to buy it. Price fixing is often a way to force consumers to pay more than they are willing to pay, and it usually involves competitors getting together secretly to agree to keep the prices at a certain level, avoiding price competition that will hurt them financially. Horizontal price fixing agreements are bad for consumers. Competition drives prices down as competitors seek to lure away one another's customers. Examples are agreements to adhere to a price schedule or range, set minimum or maximum prices, and advertising prices cooperatively or restricting price advertising. Vertical price fixing is an agreement by manufacturers to set minimum or maximum resale prices for their products. Minimum resale price fixing is often termed resale price maintenance. International price fixing is an example of when the gas associations that does petroleum, They operate as a cartel and they cooperatively set its production level to keep oil prices high. The Consumer Protection Act of 2005 says that the consumer right is the right to be informed and protected against fraudulent, deceitful, or misleading information and access accurate information and facts needed to make informed choices and decisions. The Fair Competition Act, FCA, is made to ensure that the benefits of the completion process in Jamaica are not impeded by anti-competitive activity and are made of two broad categories of prohibitions: anti-competitive behavior and those dealing with consumer protection. It also provides consumers with better products and services, a wide range of choices as best as possible, and prices. Some of the issues covered by the FCA are the abuse of dominance, exclusive dealing, market restriction, price fixing, and other misleading advertising. Two of the agencies that help with consumer protection in Jamaica are the Consumer Affairs Commission and the Fair Trading Commission. The Consumer Affairs Commission was established to inform, educate, and empower consumers on how to protect themselves in the marketplace. And they also provide for the promotion and protection of the consumer interests in relation to the supply of goods and the provision of services to ensure protection of life, health, and the safety of consumers and others. They also engage in market research and they facilitate the complaint resolution services, and they execute a vibrant consumer education program telling people how to know their rights. A short list of institutions that fall under the consumer protection are physical safety, promotion and protection of consumer economic interests, standards and quality of the consumer goods and services, distribution facilities of essential goods and services. In the Trade Act, they also measure enabling consumers to obtain redress, measures relating to specific areas, and also institutions which offer consumer education and information. An example of how they handle a complaint is if you bought a device from a store, say a tablet, and you try to return it many times because it does not work, and they tell you that, oh, we don't have any more of that in store and we won't give you a cash refund. You can go to the Consumer Affairs Commission, you can report it on your website, call their phone number, or you can use their app, and you have to have all your supporting documents, including receipts and information, and why your money was refused, and they will help you. The Fair Trading Commission is the administrative body responsible for implementing the Fair Trade Competition Act, and they carry out on their own, on the minister's request, or if anybody reports something to them that is not in order with the Fair Trading Act, they will fix that. The commissioners have the power to summon and examine witnesses and take them to court. Any business or individual who has been found guilty of being anti-competitive and has failed to follow the corrective instructions. And they also ensure that all legitimate business enterprises have equal opportunity to participate in the Jamaican economy. In the case Fair Trading Commission versus 2000 Roofing and Building System, they were found guilty of misleading advertising and were ordered to pay $700,000 to the Crown for breach of this section because they did not adhere. In conclusion, the core of any business is its consumers. And to violate and exhibit unfair practices against them is not only unethical, but it is illegal as well. In recent times, awareness has been brought to customers to protect them from the various unlawful activities that can take place, as mentioned before, and also to educate them on how to avoid them and show them where they can seek redress. Therefore, I hope that this presentation has prepared you to be a more vigilant customer and consumer of goods and services. Thank you for being here with us this evening and do have a great week.